there are some older men that want young girls. We know that. And there's young girls that want older men. And but some of these men, I think, are not capable of getting the look they want at the age that they want because those women aren't interested in them. So they go younger, younger, younger. And I feel like that's why the matchmakers are reaching out to you. The guy with his kids, it's like, why are you putting your kids on your dating app? Like, I think it was Raya or something, but I mean, like Hinge, it's like, and these little kids, and it's like, oh, I love my kids so much. Yeah, I'm like, oh my goodness gracious, this is like a zip. It's crazy.
I don't want to say that. And too many pictures in general. If a guy is always posting on his Instagram.
Oh, it's so unattractive. Oh, God.
I'm like, no, leave that for the girls.
I think girls should be the ones that are the social butterflies.
Yeah. I understand some guys like need an Instagram if they're like famous or something.
Sure.
Like the ones that like just have it and they're posting all day and then they're on their stories all day posting things.
Oh my God, bye.
Or it's like their food.
Yeah. All right, welcome back. I'm Tina.
Okay, I'm Mackenzie.
How many matchmakers reach out to you, ladies? And I'm sure there's women out there that have had the same thing happen to them as you have had and I have had even at my age. But a friend of mine, we were skiing, and so you see friends you run into, you have dinners, lunches, whatever with people. And one of them brought up this guy was talking about that he has, uses matchmakers to meet women. And they sent him a girl, and so he like opens it up and looks at her photos, and it was you.
And he got mad at them.
Well, he did, because he's like, first of all,
this girl.
Well, he's like, she's too young. I don't want to go out with a girl that age anyway, which I think is like, what are they thinking? He doesn't do that.
Well, pre-story, so he already knows me. He's met me before. He's friends with my mom, so I could be his daughter. Like
totally. And he's not like that either.
No, but it's less about even him. I'm more mad about it.
It's more about the matchmakers.
Because I was unaware of this. So I have had matchmakers reach out to me on social media. I feel like a lot of different ones. I
think know they do that. They
just find you on Instagram or what. But no one had ever. I usually just don't respond to them, or I just decline the guy. But none of them have ever mentioned this guy's name, meaning they showed my pictures off of I don't know what Instagram or whatever and showed it to this guy without even telling me, which annoys me, because then what if he's at dinner and he doesn't know me, and let's say he didn't know me in this scenario, and he's at dinner with maybe
showing your photo,
someone's parents that I might date, that I'm interested in or something, and it's like, oh, I know that girl. I almost got set up with her through a matchmaker. That makes me look like I'm willing to date a 60.
Totally.
I don't know how
totally.
old.
No, so that's why it's a great conversation to have, because these matchmakers, I think it's kind of I think they're pretty smart. I think it's kind of a racket on their part.
No, but it's also not that smart, because I could do that job if all you had to do was go on Instagram. This is the point.
We can all probably start a matchmaking firm. They're getting a bunch of girls. They've called me for men as well. What I'm trying to say is I think they collect this money from these men and they just throw women at them.
I also think it's interesting, because if that's how they go about it, they don't know me, so I could be a horrible girl.
I mean, you could be a psycho. You could be not even into
nothing. Yeah, I could have.
You could be into girls. Like, who knows? They don't know anything about you. And I think it's dangerous for men, because I think it becomes a dopamine rush for them. I think all of these pictures of all of these women flooded at them. No wonder so many guys I know that use these matchmakers are still single 4 years later.
I don't think it's much different than when they just go on Instagram themselves, men.
Yeah, or like a dating app.
Which I think they can do for much less money.
But I think a lot of guys that are
they could do for free.
But guys that are successful and super busy don't have time for social media. They don't have time for those dating apps. So I get the matchmaker. I think it's great. I just think in my head, how do you find one that's purely genuine? Here's a man that would never date a girl your age. I mean, yeah, you're gorgeous, whatever. But my point is, why would they show it to him and not even tell? They didn't even tell you. They don't even care what you thought. They send it to him. Are you really trying to set him up to get married? Because that's what he's using you for. He wants to be married. Or are you just like, oh, we've got all these women and here's this one and this one and this one. I think it's kind of scary. Makes me not want to reply to them when they ask. I mean, would you? Look what they're already doing. I mean, you have to find someone that's quality and that's really interested in matching people. And I do think that it makes sense to use them if they're really genuine and good at what they do. If there's somebody that really wants to get married and is like, hey, listen, can you help me? I'm busy. I don't go out. I'm not going to meet a girl at a bar. I don't like to go to bars. I'm not going to troll Instagram. I think it's kind of classy. I think it's better than going on Hinge. She's like, I don't have time for that. I'm busy. I'm working. I don't want that. Maybe they give parameters. I like dark hair. I like tall. I like thin. I like blonde. I like blue eyes. And then I think sometimes these women can't find the right person. And I think they throw someone that's not even in their parameters age-wise at them, thinking, well, here, I just got to get him on a date. I don't think there's anything wrong with it even at your age. I really don't.
No, I didn't say there is. I just don't know that they're doing their best.
That's what I'm saying. I think it might be a racket. I feel like it's brilliant.
If you're paying that much money, I would think if that was my job, I would do it to where I'm actually setting them up with people that I've had conversations with and know and like really, I wouldn't just find a girl
that's character and integrity in your job. And it doesn't sound like the woman that was doing that carries those same values.
I mean, it's a great business plan.
Oh, I think it's a lot of work. I think when you're dealing with either men or women that are successful, I was actually talking to another woman that reached out to me, and she was actually really sweet. I was just chatting with her. I thought it was through a friend, and she was saying how it's really hard sometimes because some women, that are paying a lot of money are really difficult and they're very particular. And she's like, well, I think you're being way too picky. And then the same with men. And I've even tried to set up a couple buddies of mine in the Midwest and back east that use Matchmakers and been using them, again, 5-6 years. I'm like, how are you not married yet? I mean, they're making a strong effort to be married. This one guy lives in Chicago. I was like, hey, because I wasn't interested in him at all. And I was like, let me just set you up. So I sent him pictures of some of my friends. He's like, too much this, too little that, not tall enough. I'm like, oh my God. And I was like... And then you look at him and you're like,
I was just going to say.
Yeah, not so much. Just not so good.
Does he have anything where he can be that picky?
I mean, he's successful. So I think that's what I'm trying to say is like, I think these successful men, it's like this dopamine rush. They think there's all these hot women they can get.
They think that they can get to, some of these guys are way in over their head where I'm like, I don't know where you get off on thinking that.
But that's I know, but that's what I'm getting at is the matchmaker being honest with them and saying, listen, let's scale back for a minute here. Let's go in the mirror. Let's go in your wardrobe. If you want that, you're going to have to elevate you a little bit. You're not so perfect either. Like you want this perfect image of a woman, but perfection can also be inside. Like get them to grow a little bit deeper.
Unattractive for you to care that many.
I agree.
I hear a guy judge so like off of physical,
I agree.
It's always the guy that's like.
Well, and you know what's funny about that?
Maybe not the most.
These same men are like, oh, well, she just is interested in money. I feel like she's high maintenance. It's like, well, wait a minute. You're high maintenance. You're only interested in her because she's super good looking. So why is it okay for you to be after a girl for totally all about her looks, but she's not allowed to be after you for what she wants to be after you for? I kind of feel like that could go both ways in a way.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So I think that's part of the problem. But I also think these matchmakers kind of capitalize on that dysfunction.
There's only been a few that have reached out to me. And there's one, and again, she showed me the guy. And I said, not interested.
Oh, I remember that.
Then she texts me later and goes, Mackenzie, if you just go on this date for me, I promise to set you up with 2 other people.
See, that's my point. I feel like
wait, one, I just don't waste my time. I'm not interested. I'm not going to go on this date. But you would do this to your client where knowing that I'm not interested, I'm going to go. Also, the man doesn't even live. He lives across on the other side of the country, so that would be a waste of his money and his time as well. But he's under the assumption that I'm going to go and meet him knowing that I'm out of there as soon as that date's over, but you're bribing me with more men.
But that's my point about a racket, or are they disingenuine? Because I feel like they have a quota. I don't know. I'm just guessing. It's like you pay for so many dates and introductions a year. I really believe that. And it's like she's trying to just do it for me. Do me this favor. It's like she's got to get that date, that one more date, or to get the next payment, if you will. I don't know. I'm just wondering, is that what's happening? If so,
I don't know, but I kind of want to be one. That's what I'm saying. I kind of want to be one.
Career. I think matchmaking is not a bad thing. I think it's a great.
I don't think it's bad at all.
Because guys like that don't always have the time to meet, and finally they go, "Gosh, I'm 45. I haven't met anyone. I'm going to hire a matchmaker and tell her my parameters, what I'm looking for, and she can do the homework for me because I'm not going to be."
That's the only time where I feel like it also gets bad is if they get like lax and they just, because they always, like you said, have like just women.
I'm telling you,
qualified,
it's dangerous.
pretty women being
They go,
thrown
well,
at
I
them.
want to go to
'Cause
the
then they
next one.
think-
I want to go to the next one. I've had 100 first dates. It's like, really?
Well,
That's
it's
not
also
something
like
to be proud
they're
of.
thinking maybe the next one's even better.
Exactly.
Like, most of my friends have never experienced a matchmaker reaching out to them.
because you guys are young. Yeah.
that's why it's
I think
so
they do
strange
it
to
more
me
with
that-
older, but they're probably getting the older ones. They're like flying through. They're like, wait, we got to go younger. We got to go younger. We got to go younger. We got to find more chicks. There are some older men that want young girls. We know that. And there's young girls that want older men. And But some of these men, I think, are not capable of getting the look they want at the age that they want because those women aren't interested in them. So they go younger, younger, younger. And I feel like that's why the matchmakers are reaching out to you. I do think, though, that's got to be kind of a tough job. Think about it. I really do. Think about the girl saying, do me a favor, do me a favor. Like, they're probably like, I'm so frustrated with this guy right now.
Yeah.
I think some men are frustrating to them. But then I think sometimes women are frustrating, too, because they're probably like, what is wrong with this girl? He's a great catch, but they're not getting that.
Yeah.
There are women that have standards. They don't care if somebody's just wealthy. There are women that don't care. They don't care as long as they're taking care of them.
That's what I was saying. She's saying that to me. And she's like, and I just have to say, like, we just think you're great from like the little bit that we've talked to you. We think you're man. I'm like, and I know. That's why I don't want to go on the date with him.
God. Well, it's because you're good with your life alone. Like, I'm the same way. It's like, if I am going to settle down with somebody, they need to elevate my life in a way that, and I would elevate theirs because I know what I bring to the table, but I am not going to settle it as obviously will you, because we have a good life on our own. We're fine supplying,
it's not
our
exactly
own life the way we want. Yeah, but
what I
we're
want,
fine
but I
taking
don't
care of
mind.
ourselves
Yeah.
and creating the life and cultivating everything we want for ourselves versus going, where is that man to do it for me? Which I think is so unhealthy. But you have to love yourself. And I talk about this in my book. Some people, think it's narcissistic to be in love or love with yourself. No, you need to be in love with who you are. You're bad and you're good, and know that you're still a work in progress and keep that humility. But if you don't love who you are, there's nothing to offer someone else. And then there's insecurity too, and also the sense of urgency because you feel like you don't love yourself, then you feel unlovable. You're trying to attach yourself to someone. I think it's such a dangerous mindset. You don't have that. And I don't think I think a lot of young girls are more secure, but there are some that aren't. I do think a lot of older women get to that point going, my time's running out,
I think I've heard a lot of my friends say that, I swear they just settle because they think, at this point,
it's time to settle down.
Yeah, and they're my age, which is...
Well, hey, that's okay. I mean, everybody has what they have as long as it's not...
It's not time to settle down. It's that they're scared they're not going to find something.
Yeah, well, that's out of
better.
fear. Nobody should live their life fear-based, right? Because that just takes away the very joy you have in every moment of your life. So that's going to catch up to them because the rush of having the new relationship and getting married is all exciting. And then in time, they've got to face their fears and who they are and why they got into something. It wasn't purely with the right intentions. That's dangerous.
Well, yeah, I think the mess you avoid now is what you deal with later. Like if you get into something that you're not so sure about and you marry them, I think that's when you end up divorced, 40 years old with kids down the road, which I'd much rather avoid.
Wait, I did that.
No, it's fine.
I was 30, but yeah.
That happens, but I'd rather avoid it.
But
I'm sure
I
you wanted
also didn't
to.
do that. I mean, he was every bit of my type and I was every bit of his type.
There's also people who don't do that and they still end up divorced. But I would just like to... I'm also
give every chance you have and be a hopeless romantic.
Yeah, I'm also
pure.
If I'm not like fully into it, I really am good just being alone.
I know. Well, sadly, you get that from me, but it's a good thing or a bad thing.
But yeah, I agree with the fear thing. I was telling my friend who you've known a lot about her story that she really wants to date someone and she's divorced, but they were only married about a year.
Sweetheart.
And that's like a whole
she's so
story.
Sweet, though.
But I was telling her, I mean, I do want her to, in a way, I want her to just at least date people because I want her to see that there's like other normal men out there in the world because she really had a traumatic experience. But I don't think you can be or like find your person until you really love yourself because she just does not. I don't want to say anyone doesn't love themselves,
someone
but
else
like
to fill a void that you have,
and she's allowing
healthy.
disrespect from people that only someone who's not respecting themselves and loving themselves would allow. And I think guys can read that too. Like you're only going to be
if they're always that intelligent and their EQ's that high, but sometimes it is. I'm kidding.
I don't think they're so
No, I
unaware.
do think some men can recognize that insecurity and feed off of it. And if they're really genuine men, they won't feed off of it, but they'll help, I think, you get empowered in your own. I think really good men would I think, help assist you in getting empowered on your own. But I think, yeah, some men can feed off of that, and that would be dangerous though, because then they feel like they have a source of control.
Or they're not bad for, they just don't want to date someone that they feel,
or they don't,
have that
or
energy.
they just disregard and go, you know what, she's got work to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it can go 3 ways. I get that. I get that totally. Listen, I still feel like I'm a total mess and work in progress. That's why I don't like to date a lot. But
I think we're ever evolving.
I'm never satisfied. But you know what's funny? I had this conversation with this girl, which I thought was kind of interesting, at a birthday party, and she was like, "So what's going on?" I'm like, "Well, it's kind of like, I don't have a problem, listen, God's been good to me. I'm fortunate where guys have asked me out, but a lot, and I'm not interested." I said to her, "But there's a few guys that, are great." I said, "But the good thing, and what I love about my life is all the hardships that I went through, and I've never felt like I've ever needed anyone. Even like when I met your dad, it was just, we were so each other's types. But as you get older, and you go through something, sometimes you feel like you need someone to, again, fill that void or give you the security you want, whether it's emotional or financial, whatever it may be." I said to her, "I don't need anyone. So when I'm in a relationship and remarried or have a partner, it will be someone that I completely choose." And she literally said to me, "How sad for you. What a sad, pathetic life that you don't need anyone." And this is good. And I said, "Really?" And she goes, "Well, you should always need somebody, even if it's for money." I said, "Oh, girl, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on in your marriage, but that actually is the opposite that's so sad." And people that cheat on and have open marriages, or cheat on their spouses, or their spouses cheat on them, and they stay together because they're too insecure to let go, or somebody that needs someone with money, as she had made a comment about someone that was dating somebody that I knew, and that it was good for her because she didn't have anything. And I said, that's actually the saddest thing that I would think, because interdependency is where we are the most evolved state. It's like interdependency is a beautiful thing. You don't want to be dependent on someone. You don't want to say you're super independent. And that's what I'm saying. I'm being interdependent. I don't need someone. There are needs that we have to have met in our life where a partner is the only person that can fulfill that. Is a deep type of like agape love or something. But it's like, it will be someone I choose.
Well, I think that's a universal opinion, that everyone shouldn't need anyone.
Well, even the people it's not too universal, because
even the people that do try and hide and act like they don't need someone.
I think that's what's happening.
I don't know where she is.
I think that's what's happening
there. Other end of the.
I think it's a projection. Of the opposite. Yeah, but I thought it was really interesting. But I like where I am. I like at my age that I'm not going, "Oh my gosh, at my age, I need to hurry up and find someone." Sometimes I say that, but I don't, because I could easily be married, as could you. And that's not about us. A lot of people can be married. Yeah, anybody can be.
Like when people talk about relationships, anyone can be in a relationship. Yeah. Anyone can be married at any time.
Totally. This whole dating thing, and we were talking about apps, right? So the matchmakers, the apps. Have you gone on these apps?
I don't go on them anymore, but I do have them. I'll look at sometimes if someone messages me. Most guys, I think, are using Raya because it's like
a hookup.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Well, I know for a
fact. My Pilates instructor thinks so so yeah. But okay, so that's that. But then there's these Hinge. So Lisa gets me on Hinge. So she signs up my whole thing. So I go on this. I go, okay, so how does this work? And then I'm going, oh my God. There's a guy with the dog licking his mouth. And then there's another guy with like this crazy face. And I go, this is so unattractive. I think there's another career out there. Let's coach men and teach them how to present themselves on social media. Oh my God, it's so unattractive. I mean, the dog licking the faces. I think I've screenshotted some of them, which I wouldn't show. That's so inappropriate. I deleted them after because I felt guilty. But I wanted to show my friends. But then again, I do have one friend that would send me photos as well. The same thing. I'm like, oh my God, it doesn't matter what state you're in. There's a guy with his tongue out.
A guy was sending you photos with a dog licking you?
No, but she sent me pictures a while ago, and it was the same thing. It was like this guy, and his profile picture was him and his dog in the car, smooching each other, and the dog's licking his face. And so I've seen it too, but I'm going, this is really out there. These men, some of their photos.
I think this is the wrong app.
It's phenomenal. No, but then there's also great guys that I've met that use Matchmakers. And
I think the matchmaker is probably the better route for an older man, if he's any man, but I'm saying older because there's young kids all over apps, but and older guys, but I think if they're really looking for someone, I would say probably Matchmakers.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Them.
Like these men I'm sure they're great guys and they could, if they just had a little bit of coaching and
I don't know. I feel like even like a guy's Instagram,
looking.
their pictures, I know if I would like a guy right away by their pictures.
No, I do too. I'm just saying for other women, it would be nice if they were more presentable. I almost want to just reach out to them and go,
that
listen.
might get him. It's like guys with babies and dog. Maybe he thinks that's going to get a girl, steal a girl's heart.
Got it. Or, it's like
he thinks he's doing something.
The guy with his kids, it's like, why are you putting your kids on your dating app? Like, I think it's Raya or something, but I mean, like Hinge, it's like, and these little kids, and it's like, oh, I love my kids so much. Yeah, I'm like, oh my goodness gracious, this is like it's crazy.
I don't want to say they're using their kids. I'm sure they love their kids. Yeah, that's probably more of like you show the girl you're dating, not every single girl.
Yeah, that's true.
But maybe they want people to know they have kids before they start.
They're good men. Maybe they're family men.
But maybe
I guess
you write that in your bio.
That's fair.
That's fair. 3 kids. I only have Raya. It's not even actually like on like my phone anymore. That I would have to go to like the app store to click on it and open it because I don't. It's just a waste of time at this point.
Yeah.
But I haven't gotten rid of the app. It's entertaining at times. If I'm like really bored, I'll go. And I just Who's
liking me today?
Every photo. Yeah. Sometimes I see, oh, he liked you. I'm like, oh, who is this? Oh, no.
Excellent.
Especially if I see like a shirtless like mirror photo. That's awful.
Oh God. Oh, that's the other thing. The selfies.
That's the worst one ever.
Oh my gosh. I don't think it's masculine.
I was gonna say it's too in touch.
I thought maybe I was old school. See, you're young and you feel that way. It just goes to show you, guys. You got to fix that up if you want to get a date.
In general. Are like if a guy is always posting on his Instagram.
It's so unattractive. Oh God.
I'm like, no, leave that for the girls.
I think girls should be the ones that are the social butterflies. Yeah. Am I wrong? I know
if he
it's
doesn't
a double
have an
standard.
Instagram, it's even better.
But I feel this way.
I understand some guys like need an Instagram if they're like famous or something.
Sure. 100%. That's not what we're talking about. Yeah.
That's a different story. But even them, they post better. You can tell it's like the ones that like just have it and they're posting all day and then they're on their stories all day posting things.
Oh my God, bye.
Or it's like their food.
And then they message you and they want to go on a date. You're like, oh, how about no?
Yeah.
But I think a lot of men think that women are attracted to whatever it is they're posting. They think they look cool. Again, need coaching.
No, I think they're insecure.
Yeah, but they need coaching. You don't think that's fixable?
I don't know.
Oh God.
I don't know.
Well, that's a problem.
I think
it's
all
fixable.
Have someone
they need coaching,
for them,
babe. Yeah, no, they just don't. They think it's cool. They might be insecure, but for whatever reason they're doing it.
We're thinking of different levels too. There's guys that just I'm like, oh my God, I would never date him just because he posts so much like that. But it doesn't have to be cringe things. And then there's cringe things where it's like them squatting at the gym with their trainer or like. Yeah, like their backyard randomly.
The backyard all the time.
That's a trying to
I think
get
girls
chicks.
can do it and it's fine. I don't know why.
Girls can do whatever.
I agree. We women just can do it. That's what
I'm saying. Leave social media to us.
And men that are in their business, I mean, that they do it.
Yeah,
of course.
But even them, I feel like those are the guys that like don't even care because they probably get attention. They just have to post.
Yeah, they have because it's their part of their career. Yeah.
When I'm dating the guy, I try not to look because I just don't need that mental warfare. But before, I like to look at who a guy follows. If there's like so many, I don't know how to say this without being like.
No. Yeah, I know. I got you. Certain types of people, like they're just following a lot of it.
Not even, let's say people, accounts or something that are just very like.
I would say accounts. It's not even people. Yeah, it's because it could go all ways. Yeah.
I'm like, oh. This is a lot.
It's so unattractive. At my age, Mackenzie,
listen.
It's not attractive.
You can go and look at that all you want. But don't show the people that you're looking at it by following them.
Yeah,
Go to the search bar, search it.
Yeah. A buddy of mine said that. He's like,
all day long.
See that on is it the For You or whatever the page is? He's like, but I would never follow it. He goes, but I wouldn't follow it.
If it's not on his For You page.
You can't blame him. No, we all like a good look.
You want to search, you want to go for it. Do not show people that you're following.
Exactly. You know what's interesting? Social media really does say you can find so much about people now just by who they follow, actually. It's like, is this who you're, and they follow them back.
That scares me too. It gives me anxiety because, like I said, I can tell right away just based off of like a guy's, I feel like you can tell a vibe by his pictures or her picture, anyone's pictures, and like kind of like, you can't really tell about the person, but you give a vibe. And so I'm like, sometimes I'm like, what am I giving? Like, you always want to
thought
make
about
sure
that with
you
me
know,
as well.
like-
Absolutely.
And I'm like, what if someone could read me completely wrong from what
And they can.
how I am, just to how, like, what my Instagram looks like, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it happens, and we're probably
Like
judging guys too much on theirs.
I'm like,
but
like, it's all my face.
we
Probably
have
like
some
she's like a
cookies or something on
narcissist.
this. She's a narcissist.
I'm
Well, me
not.
too. I mean, I don't know. All of us. Who isn't anymore? All their Instagrams are like most of. And by the way, the women look adorable
just don't know
and
what else
cute,
to
so it's all good.
post.
I don't know.
I don't even like just posting the pictures of me. I just don't know what else to post. So I just
You don't even post that much,
I
though.
know.
Yeah. You know what? I think it's cool. I love seeing people's Instagrams when it's all of girls. I'm going back to girls because I feel like girls are the more social butterfly. You know,
Guys,
people.
yeah. If I don't
guys
think
have
any
a
guy
lot-
is going to be listening to this, but if they want to be, or if
Yeah,
you're a girl and you want to
chill
send
out.
this to the guy you like or whatever, do not keep your posts very limited.
Yeah,
you
be a
should
guy.
have very few
Be a guy that
posts
doesn't
on your
need all
page,
that, yeah.
and you should
It's too
probably
busy
be
for it.
private.
Yeah.
No
Yes.
Instagram, best. You win.
Win all the way. Yes. I
yeah.
agree. Why are we so tough on them? Do you think we're tough on them? We're tough on them, aren't we?
I mean, I think that they're also tough on us.
Amen, sister. They're tough on us, so it's about time we set the standards.
They also, yeah.
Let's hold them to a higher standard at
men
this point.
will be the first one to be like, oh, they will shit on a girl for posting certain ways, but they are following those girls that we're talking about.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's
And
so dysfunctional.
so-
yeah. Hypocritical.
Well, yeah.
I think it's up to us to hold the men to a higher standard because I don't know that a lot of men can on their own. I feel like women have that power. So
Guys are fine as long as they're coachable. Like, if you start dating a guy and he listens and he
How
hears like the
attractive.
things that you, oh, it's great.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I didn't realize. Does it really look like that? Yes. Oh my God, I got to fix that.
And then you
Yes,
go and
do.
you look and you
You're
notice
like,
that you're like,
kudos.
oh,
Oh.
point.
Check. Yeah, no, it's great. Well, I love talking about men and dating because it's kind of fun because we're single and we can do it. If we were both married, we'd probably have to be more careful.